This one from Sports Illustrated. Every team's biggest roster holes this offseason for the Browns. Running back, edge rusher, and linebacker. Kareem Hunt is going to market. Nick Chubb could be behind, coming off a gruesome knee injury, and at 28 years old, it's a big cap hit. On defense, Za'Darius Smith slated for free agency, which could leave the Browns without someone to complement Myles Garrett on the outside. All right. First of all, they're not cutting Nick Chubb. Second of all, they signed Obo Okunrankwo. So do they need a linebacker? Perhaps, but they don't value that as high. Running back, they probably need somebody to complement, Nick Chubb or to fill in the gap until he's ready. Edge rusher, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and I almost would say not edge, but just defensive line as a whole. You have Okoronkwo there as well as Myles Garrett, obviously, but you also still have Alex Wright on his rookie deal that you took in the third round just a couple of years ago in that same draft as MJ Emerson. So, you have some pieces there, but again, when the only defensive tackles that you have coming back next year is Siaki Ika and Dalvin Tomlinson, who you just signed to a big deal last year, that entire defensive line room is really looking for that extra boost. You're losing somebody like a Jordan Elliott, like a Mo Hurst, like Shelby Harris as well as Za'Darius Smith, that all of those guys took up valuable snaps for this defense this past year. You're trying to replace those guys coming into next season as well, not only on the edge, but on the interior as well. That's where you're seeing a bigger need, I would say. As for the running back position, this is a good draft for the Browns in the sense that there isn't a one true, like a Bijan Robinson like we saw last year, where it's, this guy's definitely going in the first round. But at the same time, you have a collection of guys, anywhere between 10 to 15 guys that really could carve out solid NFL careers that should be going in the late third to, fourth round, fifth round, that area that I think could benefit the Browns, where, I could see them drafting somebody as well, or drafting one, maybe two running backs. But at the same time, let's also not discount the fact that this is a historic running back free agent class as well. Obviously, you have the likes of Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, who I don't think the Browns are going to be in on as well. But at the same time, you have somebody like a Jerick McKinnon that could potentially leave Kansas City. You have these guys that are going to be at lesser values that could be of value for Andrew Berry to possibly jump into. Even somebody who used to be with the Browns, like a Dearness Johnson. Somebody at a lesser value combined with a draft pick, I think could be the answer. As Nick Chubb, again, you mentioned the injury. He might not be back until October, November. Like, we don't know when we're going to get Nick Chubb back, much less the Nick Chubb that we saw pre-injury, if we're going to see that again. So that's something where you have to bolster that depth there as well, but again, at the right price.
Yeah, and Saquon Barkley's not going to get franchise tagged. So you're probably looking, the top-end talents are, $9, maybe $10 million a year, and then it goes down from there. And that's Barkley and Henry, and then it goes down from there.